Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frank Trigg. That's Cathal Pendred on the other side of the line, and forgive him, ladies, for not having a shirt on. He just got done working out. I called him 45 minutes early, and I caught him in a little bit of a mid undress. So, how you doing today, bud?
I'm good, feeling great. Just finished up, like you said, and feeling strong and refreshed.
What's your weight like? You're gonna make weight here in about 2 weeks or so. What's your weight like right now?
In pounds, I'd say I'm about 190.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
about 190 right now. So man, I'm pretty on top of my diet and stuff. This is my 16th pro fight, so I know how to do it. I'm a pro at making weight.
What's your optimal weight when you wake up in the morning, the day of weigh-ins? You got to make weight that afternoon. What do you want to do? What do you want to weigh in at?
Um, I wake up usually around 80 kilos, which is, let me think, it's about 7 or 8 pounds over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I that's what I've been doing my last few fights, and I like doing that. I used to do a lot more, but I've been, just extra strict in my diet. I like try to diet down as low as possible these days. The sauna isn't good for you. I actually don't go near the sauna anymore.
Oh,
I
really?
used to do shitload of weight in the sauna, but now I just do it in salt baths now,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, I find
You're
it.
you're on a you're on a 7 fight win streak. You have a draw in there,
Yeah,
and that's kind of ridiculous to have that many wins in a row, back to back to back to back.
yeah,
But if you look at your record, there's no submissions. They're all KOs or decisions.
yeah.
Why is that? Like how most even by random, sometimes you're gonna catch a submission. It's because the guy gets exhausted and you slap an armbar on, you slap a choke on him. But you don't seem to be doing that. You seem to beat them up on their feet and then wear them out and end up winning the decision. How come you're not getting any submissions?
Well, I think in the start of my career, I always just preferred to kind of my ground and pound was more my style. So even when I got to kind of positions where I might, choke a guy or something, I tend to keep punching him. Um, but recently, my ground game has really excelled in the last like year or so. I've done a lot of training over in Iceland with Gunnar Nelson, and
Oh,
that training, and as well with my black belt coach John Kavanagh. My ground game has gone through the roof. But my last four fights have been against really, really high level grapplers. I think it was two black belts and two high level brown belts. So I tended to, even though I feel like I have the confidence in my grappling, I just wouldn't bother wasting my time with someone that's that elite. It's very hard to catch someone that elite with a grappler with a submission, But
yeah. You end up wasting a lot of time. You end up wasting a lot of energy that you're going to need, especially if it goes to a decision.
exactly, yeah. So like it's kind of that's why one reason I'm really excited about my fight coming up, because like I said, my last four fights have been against high level grapplers, and that was their style, it was grappling style, and I kind of adjusted my style to suit that, and I've been waiting for it kind of to come up against a stand up guy for I don't haven't fought a stand up guy in a couple of years, and so this is really exciting me. I feel like I'm gonna bring back the old me, the old vicious me. Whereas I was a bit tentative on the ground with these high level grapplers.
I'm actually really excited for this fight, and of course, I get to call it. I'm one of the commentators for this event, so I'm actually really excited for you because Cage Warriors 55. It's actually in Dublin at the Helix, and you're fighting Che Mills. And there was a lot of hoopla when Che got signed to come over to
Yeah.
Cage Warriors. How do you see Mills? What do you think he brings to the table when he fights?
He's an experienced guy, and he's been around the UK European scene for a while. Like, I've always known about him because being a European based welterweight, when I was coming up through the ranks, I kind of looked at the guys that were up there, and he's one that was always kind of top of the food chain in the UK and Europe. So I've always kind of had my eye on him, and I've always been excited about coming across him one day, and it's a good test for me. He's been there at the highest level, and I feel I belong there. So I think this is the perfect chance for me to prove it to everyone.
He's coming out. Does it worry you, or I don't want to say scare you because you're fighting. You're not going to be scared at all of anything. But he comes back from the UFC. He's been in the big show. He's had high level pressure, huge arenas. He's been in the middle of that game. He gets a no contest against Matt Riddle. He beats Dwayne Ludwig and retires him out. He loses to Roy McDonald. He gets just destroyed by Roy come the second round. But does that kind of thing, when he's coming over to fight you in Cage Warriors, you go, oh, this guy's a UFC veteran, he brings a little bit more to the table? Or do you see him just as another cat that's right in front of you?
He's just another dude in my way of where I want to go. I've fought a UFC veteran before, and I dealt with that. And I don't focus too much on my opponent. He could have fought, he could have 20 fights in the UFC or one fight in the UFC. It doesn't matter to me. It's just I'm focusing on me. I'm making sure that the most well prepared guy shows up on the 1st of June. Like I said, it's nice that he has that experience and he's been there, just because it shows other people what level I'm at. But I know myself where I'm at, and it's just an opportunity to prove it to everyone else.
It's funny. I was talking to, I was actually speaking about Conor McGregor before he came in right next to me. And I was saying, he's fought Cage Warriors. Yeah, he's the champ of Cage Warriors. But he's fighting all the the smaller fish in like a really small pond. He's now in the UFC. What's going to happen? Well, then Conor comes in and destroys Brummage, and I picked Brummage to win. So I actually had to find Conor afterwards and apologize because I went the wrong way. I thought Conor was going to feel that heat of being in the UFC. You're the Cage Warriors champ. You have that same kind of that specialist about you where you're like, I'm ready for the next step. I'm ready for to come through and make that big league jump. Do you think if you devastatingly beat up Chain Mills that the UFC is going to start calling you and asking you to come over there too?
Yeah, I know for a fact that, like I said, I know I belong up there with the top in the world. I've trained with guys who are the top 10 in the world, top 5 in the world, and my weight division, and I've held my own, and I know for a fact I can deal with these guys. So I'm just waiting for the call so I can. I'm in this game to compete with the best, to be the best. So, and that's at the UFC. So I'm every fight I'm just looking to take out my opponent and wait for that phone call.
Now, for somebody at home that hasn't seen you fight yet, they haven't watched Cage Warriors, that to be able to see here, at least in the United States, we'll see live stream on MMAJunkie.com. Explain your style. That for people that haven't seen it yet, exactly what kind of a style you have when you walk out.
I've got this come in your face style straight away. Once the bell rings, I'm in your face, and I've got a unique kind of grappling wrestling style that people wouldn't really have seen before. I don't have that like collegiate wrestling background, but I took to wrestling quite well, and like I said, I've trained with top level guys. I've trained over in AK with like the likes of Fitch and Koscheck, who are high level wrestlers, and they found it difficult to deal with wrestling because it's unorthodox. It's not like your traditional style wrestling. Kind of similar in a way to GSP, and it's I find it really effective, and people find it hard to deal with. So I'm always coming forward. I'm either coming forward for a takedown or I'm coming forward with big shots.
All right, last question before I let you go. Since you just raised his name, GSP, he's getting ready to fight Johnny Hendricks. This is a weight class that you're in. Who do you think is going to win that fight between Johnny and GSP?
I don't think anyone at 170 beats GSP. I think he's only got maybe. I don't think he wants to fight much more. I think he maybe only wants 2 or 3 more fights. I think he's going to retire, and I think his next 2 or 3 fights he's going to win, and he's going to retire the best ever 170 pounder until someone else has more defenses than that. I
tend to agree with you. Everybody except Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks is a way better MMA wrestler than George is. But George's ability to confuse you, you think he's punching, then he's taking you down, you think he's taking you down, and all of a sudden he's punching you, is much better than anybody else in any weight class. But Johnny's left hand scares the crap out of me. At any point throughout that fight, if he's losing, he could lose 4 rounds. In the middle of the 5th round, hit George one time with that straight left and knock him completely unconscious. And we all know that George is not much of a finisher anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's very scary. For this fight for me I'm still very back and forth. A lot of guys I've talked to agree with you that George is unstoppable at 170.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like, that's what's great about MMA. I mean, you look at Matt Serra caught him, and Johnny Hendricks, definitely, if anyone can do it, it would be Johnny Hendricks with that big left bomb he has. But GSP is a very smart dude, and I think he'll approach that fight and he'll have a game plan. To be honest, if I was GSP, and what I think he'll do is, I think he'll get him to the fence and just in tight and close, and not let him be out in that open, swinging that left bomb, and work him on the fence, beat him up a little bit there, and take him down, and probably work from top there. But like you said, it's MMA and anything can happen, and Johnny Hendricks has that power, and you could knock him out with one punch, definitely.
Well, thanks for coming on here with MMA Oddsbreaker. I'll see you next week up there in Dublin, and I'm really excited. I love Dublin. It's one of my favorite places to vacation. Hoping I can get one of your mates to take me out as a local, so I don't have to keep looking like a tourist every time I go out.
Don't worry, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people over here who'll be willing to look after you.
Thanks, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, Frank.
Of course, always. Talk to you soon.
All right, see you, bro.